Hey everybody. So before we use hypothesis for the first time, we really want to walk us through some of the nuts and bolts of using the app. I gave you the hypothesis walkthrough primarily because they do a great job of focusing on an additive comment, something that adds to the conversation. That's what I'm most interested in with hypothesis. I want to see your unique perspective. I really want to see how you make sense and what you're thinking about when you read these articles. So anything and everything is fair game. So to begin with, hypothesis does not work on IE, right, Internet Explorer, or Microsoft Edge. It just is not going to work. It also doesn't really work on your phone. So this is one of those apps that we really need to work with on the computer and with Chrome, with Safari, with Firefox. You can try other browsers besides those three, but I can promise you will have difficulties with anything from Microsoft. It's not going to work well. So here's the article that we're reading. Shame by Dick Gregory. I think it's amazing. We'll see what you guys think about it. But I want to walk you through a little bit about where things are at on this interface. First thing we want to do is click the annotation sidebar. This will show you if other people had already annotated. It would be laid out here. This is also page notes. If you wanted to write something more general about the page it was on rather than a particular quote or piece of language, you'd use page notes. But we're going to use annotations. This is where we're going to focus on. So you're reading through and you decide, oh wow, this is really interesting. It's called shame. Wow, that's interesting. So you would highlight it. And we don't need to highlight entire sentences necessarily. It'll get really busy here in a minute when everybody adds their 2 cents. There'll be a lot of highlighting, and it might be difficult to read. So one word, even one letter of one word that hasn't been highlighted yet will be enough. When you click annotations here, what you'll then be able to do is type down the word that I might have used, or the sentence. If I had wanted to highlight a whole sentence, I then would type in this sentence right here, and then I would talk about it. I'm going to ask you guys a question that you can reply to if you want. So my question for you is going to be, what is the significance of using shame as the title? I don't need you to read the whole thing and go back and come back and answer after you read it. I want to know what you're thinking right here, right now, when this happens. I like the question, and so now I'm going to come and I'm going to go ahead and click the post button. If you don't click the post button, it doesn't post, right? So don't forget to do that. And there it is. Now, if you want to reply to me, or anybody else for that matter, in your class, then you hit this little reply button. Right? You click that reply button, and you can put your answer to the question in, or your thoughts. And you can reply to anybody. Okay. Now, the last thing I guess I have for you in terms of nuts and bolts is sometimes if a lot of stuff gets highlighted, there might be a really important paragraph, and everybody's highlighting in that area, and sometimes it gets a little messy with a lot of different highlighting popping up. This little tool here to show the highlights, you can click it and it takes the highlighting away. So you can see a clean page. Then you can go back and highlight your own next thing. Okay? So hopefully you enjoy using hypothesis. It's one of my favorite tools. It really allows us to engage in the reading process as a group together, and we can build each other up and see what everybody's thinking and just learn how to do this in a much more effective way. So get in there, play around with it. You can add a whole bunch of stuff, right? You can also play around with putting in links, and you can embed and insert images, really a number of things. So see what's possible and have fun. Hope this helps. Thank you.